Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. It is an honor to have with us tonight former ACC boss, Attorney General, and Minister of Justice from 2016 through 2018. 2018, and Deputy Prosecutor for the Special Court for Sierra Leone between 2007 and 2010, Honorable Joseph FITZGERALD KARMARA. On behalf of the entire team here at Salon for All and Voice for All Network, we would like to extend our profound gratitude to Honorable Joseph FITZGERALD KARMARA for taking time out of his busy schedule to honor our invitation. With that said, we will go on a quick pause and we'll be right back. Feel free to share this link to notify others. We'll be right back. Thank you once again and welcome everyone.
By Vinod Fuller, London, UK. Joseph FITZGERALD KARMARA is Sierra Leone's Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Prior to his appointment in December 2015, Mr. KARMARA headed his country's Anti-Corruption Commission (ACC), where he succeeded in establishing a robust anti-corruption regime. Before he left as commissioner, Joseph had succeeded in lifting Sierra Leone's anti-corruption profile from the bottom position of 134 in 2010 to 119 in 2015 in the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index. During his tenure as Commissioner of Anti-Corruption, Mr. KARMARA secured the conviction of several high-profile government officials including 3 ministers, Mayor of Freetown, head of the National Revenue Authority, and head of the National Maritime Agency to name but a few. A member of the African Union Board on Anti-Corruption, the LEONE. Attorney General and Minister of Justice, has over 26 years' experience at the bar, having graduated from Fora Bay College, University of Sierra Leone in 1989, with LL.B. Hons. He worked for the government of Sierra Leone as state prosecutor following his call to the Sierra Leone bar in 1990. The LEONE. Attorney General and Minister of Justice did his postgraduate studies in law at the Southern Methodist University, Texas. Joseph has a wealth of international experience as a promoter and defender of human rights. Following the end of the civil war in Sierra Leone, he was appointed Deputy Prosecutor for the Special Court for Sierra Leone, which tried perpetrators for war crimes. During this period, he successfully prosecuted leaders of various factions of the civil conflict including the former President of Liberia, Charles Taylor. His contribution to international jurisprudence with regards crimes against humanity has been well documented. He was among the pioneers pushing for the inclusion of the offenses of forced marriage and sexual violence to be recognized under international criminal law. An avid educationalist, Joseph has lectured various subjects including international criminal law and corporate and business law in Sierra Leone. Joseph is passionate about expanding the boundaries of human rights protection and improving access to justice, particularly for vulnerable groups like women and children in his country. Consequently, in recognition for his legal exploit, he was awarded life member of the Governing Council of the African Bar Association in 2017. Following his appointment as Attorney General and Minister of Justice, he has worked tirelessly to improve access to justice, expeditious delivery of justice services and protection of human rights. He spearheaded the biggest expansion in legal aid provision across the country with over 150,000 cases dealt with since 2016. As part of his commitments to improving justice sector capacity, enhance expedition of trial and strengthen judicial independence, the LEONE minister led the commissioning of improved salaries for judges, magistrates and law officers, which led to a massive recruitment of 33 magistrates, 29 state councils, 20 judges and 14 legal aid defense councils. His fundamental philosophy of using the law to improve democratic governance and social cohesion has seen him engage donors and civil society in the repeal and modernization of certain outdated laws in his country that undermine fundamental freedoms including press freedom, association, human rights and women's empowerment. Joseph Kamara's long list of achievements include but not limited to the following: Commander of the Republic of Sierra Leone, 2017, Workers' May Day Award as Most Supportive Minister, 2016, Life Member of the Governing Council of the African Bar Association, 2017, African Achievers Awards for Excellence in Leadership, 2016, Minister of the Year Award, 2016, Sierra Ovation Aware, 2017, Former President of the Sierra Leone Bar Association, 2008-2010. World Bank Integrity Award, 2010. Joint winner of the International Association of Prosecutors Award in recognition for promoting international criminal justice, Avon International Award winner in recognition of
provided justice to all on Sunday in Sierra Leone, the e-library and the law office's website has officially been launched so as to encourage lawyers, judges to conduct proper research and make good cases, and to make good use of the library and understand what the justice system is all about. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Joseph FITZGERALD Kamara, whilst making a statement, said, "As an individual, one can predict the outcome of any case that is in the court of law, and one doesn't necessarily have to be a lawyer, and encourage lawyers and judges to make good use of the law library that is equipped with a lot of books."
It should not be based to which political party you belong. It should not be based to which region you come from. It should not be based on any other affiliation factor, but rather on the basis of the law. As an individual, you'll have the opportunity to sufficiently predict the outcome of the case. You don't need to be a lawyer. You can research and see if it has happened this way. In this similar fact, this should be the conclusion. If it is not, you have the opportunity to question it. So this is the benefit of the e-library. And today, the library is there for opening. It's fully air-conditioned. We have computers. Access the information is there. We still have books. Because some of us still believe in reading hard copies. The books are still there. Modern books, current books.
He went on to state that he wants to bridge the gap in the justice system, making mention of what it means for women to understand what gender-based violence is all about. The books are there, he said, but for people to understand what entails in the books is of great importance.
Offenses or customary marriage, if women don't know that the laws are there, they are oppressive, they are there for their benefit. So having it in the books is only one limb. But having to understand that it is available is another limb. And the most important limb is having access to remedy. That is what justice is all about. So I was talking about the gap, the chasm that is there. We want to bridge that gap. And how do you bridge it? We have layered information across. Now we want to work across. Information available, access available, knowledge available. Then people will be happy. As we translate what we see in the website in terms of cases, we're looking at a situation where we'll move beyond the website. Look at electronic filing. But everything has a base. Everything has a step. So at this website, if you have opinions that are outstanding, you can clearly tell which one is pending and at which state it is. So you can know what to expect. We have turnaround times. We have a service charter that is there that will monitor the work that we do.
It then mentioned that the e-library, being the first in Sierra Leone, will give opportunity to electronics research, which will eliminate uncertainties in the law, which will further prevent lawyers from lying and help them to get a complete database of information, as judges and lawyers will have the opportunity to go through books and get better research.
It's the first e-library in the country. The e-library gives opportunity to electronic access of information. I'm happy we have Justice Edwards here with us. We will let the judges have access to our database, have access to our Lexis. Lexis is the modern engine search tool for lawyers and judges. It tells you, it gives you the cases almost everywhere in the world. It gives you the most latest case that is decided in the UK, the most latest case that is decided in Indonesia. So all you have to do to see whether the facts are similar, in law we call it the ratio decidenda. If it is in pari materia with what you want, then you see the case, it gets you. So now we do not, it will eliminate that area of uncertainties in the law. have one judge giving a decision in this one and another one giving a decision in another when the facts are similar. So what they will do, if you appear in court, both lawyers are arguing, and the case is mentioned between Daddy Thompson and Justice Edwards. Quickly, Justice Edwards will sit there and check the case and know what it says. Lawyers will stop lying. Judgments were taken because the judge has to go and conduct his research. But how he has to do is to come down the road slightly into the law library. They have access and then check all the cases. And sometimes what he has to do, he can even text me the cases and I'll get them printed and sent right across. So in a space of minutes, before it takes days and months for judges to do research. Now in space of minutes, at most 10-15 minutes, the judge will have access to a complete database of information. That is the benefit of the e-library. And our lawyers, who will now see qualitative legal opinions, qualitative submissions based on real rational reasoning.
The program was climaxed by the official launch of the e-library and the law office's website. For Star News in Freetown, Adam Asila reporting.
This is Joseph FITZGERALD KARMARA, Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Leona Cabo. I dey talk to una concerning abstention from violence during elections. We want peaceful elections that we come to. And me, as an aspirant, and I believe say for we support what we do, and for avoid the use of drugs and any violence during elections. I commit myself, say me and me supporters them. We're not going to engage in any form of violence, not support any drug abuse during the course of the elections, during and after the elections, because all of this means say Salon Lives Matters.
Providing justice to all on Sunday in Sierra Leone, the e-library and the law office's website has officially been launched.
Welcome once again to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan-Nabi. I want to take this opportunity for pause and allow Honorable for come in and introduce yourself. Welcome, sir. Thank you so very much once again for honoring the invitation. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Khadija.
Welcome. Please take the opportunity for introduce yourself to the very few where I doubt we're not going to know that household name there, sir.
Oh, well, I am Joseph FITZGERALD KARMARA. Yes, a lawyer by profession. I was called to the bar in 1990. I attended the Albert Academy, and before that, I attended the Roman Catholic School at Makere. In Freetown, I attended Regent Square Municipal School. So I attend public schools, and Albert Academy, and then Kobe College. I worked at the Law Officers Department for 8 years. After which I left the country, I traveled to the US, to Texas. I studied in Southern Methodist University, come back, worked in America for a while. Fortunate to get a job back home, come as an expatriate, worked for the special court, involved in various prosecutions, international criminal justice enforcement, and I become the commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission, being its boss, the longest serving ever, which is for like 6 years. And we did quite a lot, as it said, and managed the affairs of fighting corruption in the country. And thereafter, it pleased His Excellency the President, then Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, for appointment as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. And we managed that office until we conducted the elections. There was a peaceful transition for the first time in Sierra Leone, or second time, I believe, where we get handover from a sitting government on opposition. The transition went well. Today, we have a government, and we are in the opposition, but we are quite happy. We do well. We receive the white paper, and we will discuss it.
Beautiful credential, one must confess. What is this about this Albert Academy, guys? Excellent. It seems like Albert Academy don't produce so many wonderful, productive citizens of the Republic of Sierra Leone. So let's talk a little bit about Albert Academy before we go into the nitty-gritty of today.
Oh yes, we don't produce the first Prime Minister, Milton Magai. We produce Seka Stevens, and many more leaders in the country, and particularly lawyers as well. In a school where they do well in the arts, and most of the lawyers they can come out of school, like, can join me, we'll polish them to be good lawyers. And we are proud to be academicians. We mutuna esekwam wideri, rather to be than to seem. I love it.
Love
It's always
it.
better to be who you are.
Yes.
Stop being pretentious. Be your real self.
Love
Be
it.
real.
Love it. Thank you so much
Yeah.
once again for honoring the invitation. So I guess now we go into business. The very first one, let's talk about the importance of accountability, transparency, and effectiveness. It is indeed vital of significantly important to ensure that every government official gives an account of his or her stewardship. Do you agree or disagree? If so, why?
Of course, I agree with that. Absolutely. Any governance structure, we need accountability. The people of a country must be responsible and they must receive the opinions of their leaders on governance. And especially also, your stewardship must be accountable. We all can agree for that. But how do we manage it? We have to manage it in a very transparent and proper fashion such that the message we will communicate will not be lost. And one way we will get the risk involved in it all is that if you not come through the proper means and mechanism, then you miss a big opportunity. And that is one big opportunity that has been lost in the fight against corruption. Nobody is not saying that corruption is not there. It is there. Well, how do we fight it? We have to use a clean stick, a fair and equitable manner in its fight, so that we all will get the benefit we deserve in that quest.
Thank you, sir. Some call it a white paper, others call it witch hunt. What do you call it, sir? And furthermore, as someone who represented person of interest at the Commission of Inquiry, including former President Dr. Ines Baikorma, what's your overall assessment of the process, including its outcome?
Overall assessment is that we received the white paper as any democratic party, and also as representing former President Kuruma. We have our doubts about it. We receive it with reservation because we believe, say, while it has its own misgivings, the only thrust in it all are to go after the leadership of the All People's Congress. And we believe at this point in time, it was not fair. From the very beginning, we challenged its jurisdiction, meaning, say, they're not being properly set up. The rules of evidence were absent. We complained to the Supreme Court. Nobody listened to us. Even the filing rulemaking, the case was never assigned. So from the beginning, it was flawed and faulted. And so the outcome is equally flawed and faulted.
Thank you, sir. Now, let's go back a little bit. How best did your administration, meaning the Dr. Ines Baikorma administration, work to ensure that the socio-economic needs of Sierra Leoneans were met?
Well, that's a very broad question, but I can tell you, say, as a government, we did what we could under the meager circumstances that were available. We focused on critical issues of health. We introduced free health care because that was very challenging for our people, and people are able to get affordable health. Then we also focus on issues of social security. We worked with the social security institution and make sure, say, even pensioners, they all get their pensions on time. We provide resources for people where they owe. Then beyond that, we also look at how do we manage the infrastructure of the country so that people are able, the economy will be open up. We manage infrastructure, build a lot of roads, improve the facelift of the country, and at the same time open up the economy. There was a point in time in 2014 when Sierra Leone was the second fastest growing country in the world. Remarkable feat. We worked on it. We gave up resources. We attracted investment. Direct foreign investment came into Sierra Leone at its highest. We reduced inflation rate. These were all opportunities. We opened the market. We introduced energy supply. People get access to energy. People able to sell water, sell many things. We energy will produce so that they open up market, enable people to get resources, and their life change for the better. This is what we could do, and this is what we did for the people of Sierra Leone. But today we see a difference.
I think you've been on touch on this a little bit, but at a repeat time and then followed by another question. We have obviously seen the government white paper, and it appears all of the recommendation from the Commission of Inquiry has been accepted despite the numerous allegations and petition made by lawyers like yourself who represented the former president, Dr. Ines Baikorma, and others. What's your assessment to the government white paper as a former head of Anti-Corruption Commission and Attorney General of Sierra Leone? The follow-up question after that. I also want us to, we note that page 42, chapter 14, Office of the Attorney General, yourself and a host of others have been found guilty of corruption, maladministration, and lack of accountability. Are you surprised by this outcome, sir?
Yes, most of us are shocked and outraged by such an outcome. This is what we call in the local parlance a fangadama approach. Fangadama approach means say we get fana. You put all kind thing inside so that you put Sarah, therefore capture everything. That is what they've done. They've used a cane nest, and then prepare it together and use it as a sifter, where they will capture each and everything into one particular confinement, and it is absolutely wrong. They use different standards and then use different measurement of yardstick and then rope everybody in and then say, oh, they're all misappropriated. What did they misappropriate? What is the individual piece of evidence? There's no individual piece of evidence. And at the end of in page 42, you cited. What is there in page 42? A global statement of corruption, a global statement of misappropriation. What was misappropriated? You wouldn't find. And down the road you go, they spoke about vehicles in the case of the former Attorney General, not myself. But for which vehicles? Vehicles that were distributed to government officials. They ask you to return them. It is ridiculous. And in my particular case, they said I gave a wrong legal opinion. Who decides what is wrong? What is wrong to you may be right to me. And under the Constitution in section 66 of section 8, you do not question the opinion of the Attorney General. Because if you do, then nobody else will be able to offer an opinion any other time. So it is risky. So again, who says what is wrong? So to say to pay damages is clearly to target me. And why? Because I'm a potential threat to the leadership of the government.
Thank you, sir. Following on page 43, you have been asked to pay damages for your failure to exercise due diligence on the case between former Vice President, His Excellency's Vice President Sam Sumana versus government of Sierra Leone. Why are you embarrassed by this outcome, sir?
I'm just shocked, not embarrassed, because it's all falsehood. Because in the first place, what was your opinion? The opinion I held and I continue to hold, I reiterate, that the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone is the highest court of the land. And you'll find that in section 22 of the Constitution. It is the highest court of the land. And it is not subject to a review by any other court outside of Sierra Leone or in Sierra Leone. And that was my opinion, and I stand by that. And why should I pay damages? Why should I pay damages for such an opinion? Certainly it is a correct opinion, constitutional opinion, and I stand by it. Due diligence, what is due diligence here? Who is setting up a company? Due diligence to find out about what? So most certainly you can see they're going out what we call a fishing expedition. You throw in the net to catch anything that you can get, and then you label JFK to ask to pay for damages. And in fact, you'll be shocked to know that that case was not initiated during my tenure. It was initiated before my tenure. I was only invited to go for the judgment, and I said, no, we will not recognize your jurisdiction. You do not have superintendents over the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone. And I stand by that to this day. We're correct. The opinion is correct in law. And I challenge anyone to tell me that the United States Supreme Court, NAFTA, can come in and say the United States of the Supreme Court is wrong. And as I give you the example, the United States of the Supreme Court of the United States does not even recognize the ICC.
Also, we saw.
What are we saying?
Thank you, sir. Also, we saw names of personnel of interest who appears to have been cleared on one hand for personal enrichment, but at the same time found wanting on the basic of collective responsibility for things that happen in the office they held. Example, Dr. KARMARA and others. Is this somehow not conflicting?
Very conflicting. And in fact, you'll see that the white paper and the report together are littered with inconsistencies. On the one breath, they're saying one thing. In the other breath, they're saying something else. In one particular instance, you will see for the same type of offense, they treat differently with different persons. While some people are held liable, others, they don't hold them liable. In the case of the estates purchased by persons. And some of them, in some cases, they will say, Mr. ABCD, you're free, your purchase is good. But XYZ, your purchase was bad. And it was all in the same transaction. They pick and choose the outcome. It is wrong, blatantly wrong.
People have also been guilty of selling government assets, including the sales of Sierra Rutile and government quarters. Were these sales legal and done properly?
I will tell you of interest. What was the finding of the commission that the sales were shady? Is that the standard of proof? The standard of proof in a civil trial is clearly a balance of probability. The standard of proof in a criminal trial is proof beyond reasonable doubt. All the commissioner could say is that it was a shady deal. What made it shady? If it is shady, lift up the veil and show us what was wrong. But they couldn't show what was wrong, and they're asking to pay back 12 million. The monies were paid into their account, paid into government account, no doubt. So why are they paying? Why are they paying? Ridiculous. You read this white paper, you read the commission's report, you're ashamed. You're ashamed to be a Sierra Leonean that we could produce a report like that, baseless, with no real arguments, no analysis. When you read the judgment, you'll get to understand that on one hand, this is what was said. On the other hand, that is what was said. And at the end of the day, I believe A, B, and C. And so this is my finding. But that's not the case. They choose what they want to believe and decide on what they've concluded long before the commission of report. There was a government transition report. That same transition report is almost carbon copy with the commission report. What was in that report is what we see today. So it was a fait accompli. The decisions were long made. It was just a charade. We were just parading in the commission of inquiry. The decisions were made long before we concluded.
We also notice a lot of things were said to have gone wrong at the Office of the Petroleum Directorate, including the grant of a recapitalization loan of 14 million to Rokel Commercial Bank. More than 12 million of that money remain unpaid, and the former president, Dr. Ines Baikoma, Dr. KARMARA, and Rokel Commercial Bank has been asked to pay back that money. Why shouldn't this have been redirected to the bank? Many Sierra Leoneans will wonder.
Khadija, indeed, one will wonder. This is the most ridiculous aspect of it. The Rokel Commercial Bank was a failing bank, and they applied to the government for a recapitalization of its shares. And then government listened to the request, assessed it, and then agreed that we need to put in money into this. It is not strange, it's all over the world. Monies were paid to the Rokel Commercial Bank, it went into their account, and it revived the bank. The bank is still alive today. It's one of the best performing banks. They have received so many awards, and they are paying dividends. They've recently paid a dividend to government less than 6 months ago. So what was wrong there? Why pay 12 million again? The bank acknowledged receipt of the money. They've paid the part of the money, and they're continuing paying. As recent as 6 months ago, they paid dividend on that. The bank has not failed. It was rescued. Is that an offense? No, it isn't. We rescued the bank that was failing, and it is serving the nation today, one of the leading banks. And now you ask the bank to pay? Pay who? For what? It's just, I keep on saying it. I'm embarrassed by the outcome.
Yeah. From the government's white paper, it appears as if Section 50 of the Sierra Leone Constitution, which says decision taken by the president while in office shall not be inquired into. Are we having a completely different interpretation of that section here based on decision taken by the former president?
It seems like it, because what we're seeing today is a complete overhaul of the Constitution, a complete violation of the Constitution. The Section 50 you cited is quite in place. We also have Section 14 and Subsection 4 talking about the immunity of the president. And then we have Section 150 of the Constitution talking about rules of procedures. All of these were defied. And now today you're calling on a president to account for his role while he was in office, for things he did properly, legally. Because if he does anything illegal, then Parliament has to waive the immunity before it can be brought before the law. Did Parliament do that? No. So meaning that even today, whatever the current president is doing is subject to review tomorrow. Somebody can be calling him for that, to be accountable, whether it is legal or illegal. But the process is faulted. It is not about who occupies the seat. It was meant for what we call sovereign immunity. And there's wisdom in that nonsense. There's wisdom.
Houses were valued at billions of leones, including a $5 million house at Femi Turner Drive, owned by former President Dr. Ines Baikoma. Is it that easy for people to become billionaire in Sierra Leone? Are these the true value of these properties?
Khadija, you'll be shocked. We are the commission. It's a one-story building, a one flat with just a high roof. and they are valued at $5 million. Wow, $5 million for a single house in the suburbs of Freetown. $5 million. And I cross-examined the estate valuer. He never even went into the house. He never even dared cross the gate of that house. How did he value the estate? He said he was like a mile away, peeping across. So I called him the peekaboo valuer. He was peeking from across the street and assessed the house without even going to see how many rooms, whether there was a swimming pool or no swimming pool, how many car garage there are, how high are the ceilings, what is the strength of materials, engineering. What is it? He valued it at $5 million. My goodness, that house is not even valued up to $350,000. Not at all. I will not even pay $350,000 for that if I have that kind of money. It's a shame. Is he qualified? No, he wasn't qualified. He wasn't qualified at all. We challenged his credentials. But nonetheless, he was accepted as a credible valuator. Today we are facing the crisis because everything went wrong in that commission of inquiry. That is where we are today, and today it's a shame.
What is your next step? Would you be appealing these adverse findings against yourself and your client, considering you are still waiting for the Supreme Court to interpret Section 50 of the Rules of Court Committee?
We don't have much of a choice. As a law-abiding party and law-abiding citizens, the provisions that are made available for us is to appeal. Yes, we have notified the Attorney General that we need a copy of the records and transcripts of the proceedings. There seem to be some challenging produced in the transcripts. I heard today that they said they've lost them. Quite, I'm not surprised because we were again at the treason trial. We were told that the video recordings were not present, and so nothing came out. So is this what is the current trend today in Sierra Leone? Crucial evidence disappearing, evidence that will help the other side? What a shame. But we will pursue it. We will go to the Court of Appeal. We will redeem our images, our reputations, that our government served the people well. Nothing was perfect. Mistakes were made. We agree. But I can tell you for sure, what we're saying today, we will say give thanks.
What other means of redress would you be seeking outside of Sierra Leone, if any?
Well, we need to exhaust what we call the local remedies. We will utilize our court system. We'll take it to the highest level in the country, take it to the Supreme Court. If we lose there, then of course we have to explore external and international avenues, such as the ECOWAS Court and the African Court on People's Human Rights. Yes, these are opportunities that we could explore.
Many are curious as to why the traveling ban. Do you have any idea?
Everybody's surprised. There was a ban. We have been banned before, 2 years. But in my case, I hardly noticed it because I hardly travel. But I can tell you for sure, it is not whether you hardly travel or not. You don't want to be stopped to travel. It's your right to move, the freedom of movement. Why ban people? We were all here. Some people who went abroad came back, surrendered themselves to the jurisdiction. Nobody has left. You would worry about it that some people have flight risk. In law, you try to prevent people from traveling so that they could not answer to their charges. But this is not at the charging state. It is now where we are at the appeals. They need not even be present at the appeals because their counsel will be there. So why ban them from traveling? So it is all the process of the victimization, the vindictiveness that they express and want to show against former members of the regime. Where are we heading as a state? In governance, where are we going to start to govern? So it's difficult, it's worrisome for us as a people. When are we going to start to govern Sierra Leone? When? Why ban people to travel? They need not be present in the appeals. Because there you talk law. It's not about facts anymore. In very limited situations that facts do come in. So why ban them to travel? We were all here, nobody left. Those who left came back and answered to their charges. So what's the point? It's just to make them look bad. You know, tarnish their reputation. Treat them like common criminals. That's so awful.
What are some of the adjectives you can use to best describe former President Dr. Ines Bai Koroma?
What I can say is a humble leader, a listening leader, and a president that is a go-getter. He worked assiduously, he's a hard worker. We worked till 4, 5 in the mornings, most times. And I saw his passion for what he wanted to see Sierra Leone. He was not a perfect man, yes. So we are all never perfect. We all made mistakes. We will acknowledge the mistakes that they were made, but not crimes. If even it is crime, we will know it was a crime. But what we are saying today, we are not frog marched or trying to be tarnished because of crimes. We are being tarnished because we belong to the party, the All People's Congress. We are being tarnished today because we appear to be different. We do things differently. We are developmental. We look at things for the common man, the average people, the grassroots, the people that are out there, the downtrodden. While they look up, they look to the elites, they look for the many others. We are not like that, and we will not be dragged into that place. So today I can only say, at a party level, we had a leader who was compassionate. We had a leader who was there to ensure that everybody had a fair share of what is the entitlement of the state. Wasn't perfect? No, I will not defend him as a perfect man. But so are we all. We did what we could. Freetown was better. Sierra was better. I can guarantee you.
I get a suggestion from the platform saying now we'll do I guess we'll do like a bilingual approach, the local Franca as well as the Queen's English. So some of the question I will put in English, then at the same time put them back in Creole, so that way at least that mamina na mal 91 go understand what they say. So thank you for the concern, Mr. Man. So thank you for that. So the next question: instability, violence still continue in Sierra Leone. This is according to an advisory issued to U.S. national on the U.S. government website, stating that Sierra Leone is unsafe. How best would you be able to convince your political party members and their supporters to promote national cohesion in these difficult circumstances? So basically, for we Creole people, them where we they look at the statements, the one in the way we they get now so in America, the websites them, then they say that obviously Salon unsafe. And we said they see some authentic evidence them where they reach we now the ongoing thing from the post-election violence, and it still continue. So basically, as we all they try, we they work hard for now we promoting national cohesion. So the question was how best in a political party they engage in national cohesion for see that how you call them we oneness, and we put an end to this vicious cycle in terms of the continued violence where we get with the Yarina. So, and of course if US they put on the website, and obviously this underlining issue in our country. Come back in, sir.
Oh yes, national cohesion and peace and security has remained the challenge. The All People's Congress, we party, are the openest party in the country. Meaning that the one party that they defend everybody inside. We don't party now, all man business. We say APC business now, all man business. Because inside the APC, you get Mendemande Day, you get Creole, you get Timney, you get Limba, we all day inside APC. And that make APC business sweet. Other party, they not too so. What we're seeing today, the reality is,
I think so. They take a quick break and they come right back. And I thank you for your patience. Welcome back. I know say Honorable been there on the floor where we've been get slight interruption. Sorry, we apologize. Come back in, sir. I know say we did talk about in a political party in terms of national cohesion, and you talk about how diverse in a political party is. So go ahead, sir.
Oh yes, I was saying that the All People's Congress and we on policy and philosophy is to open up to each and every sector of the country, welcome everyone and everywhere, whenever we come together for the progress of the country. The challenge we have today is that we have a government that is not quite inclusive. Yes. What do I mean by this? The engaging of the political parties is difficult. We need to see the community functions. We need to get invitation for let me share the ideas we don't get. And we have been in governance for 10 years. We have developed expertise in a lot of areas. So when it comes to the face challenges, we believe, say, in any good government structure, you invite people who don't get experience and are able to sit down and converse on a share knowledge how the country could go before. But what we have experienced today is that everything previous is bad. All waiting the former government don't do it bad. Nobody know what do nothing about it. Now make within this kind of quagmire we find ourselves today. That is why we are in the situation where we are. Because we treat everything that the previous government has done as evil. And that is not the case. If we want to move forward, we need to be engaging. There has to be a constructive engagement. As the current government moved out, offered an olive branch to the APC, no. What we see is persecution. Everyday persecution. People have been persecuted for their membership of the party. Humiliation for the current leadership of the APC party. Every day there are different charges. Our members have been surrounded, taken to the CID, the Criminal Investigation Department, on a regular basis. As a lawyer, I'm there almost every day or every other week to defend someone. Why? Because as a member of the APC. No, it shouldn't work like that. We're not interested so much as in getting offices. What we want is the share of governance. Let us contribute to the betterment of this country. Ask for our opinion, we'll provide. While we've offered our opinions, they have not been accepted. It's a shame. We are where we are today. It's everything green and everything red, and that is not good. We should see Sierra Leone green, white, and blue.
That take me to the next one, and then we'll do I'm back again in a bilingual approach. Bipartisan approach for any nation is one step to success and a clear manifestation of strength to any sitting government. How best did Dr. Ines Baikroma applied such a doctrine, and to what extent did he go to promote national cohesion? So for we mami them back again, what they try for say the bipartisan approach is basically where they try for bring all the political party them together in effort for move the country forward. And I also further ask say a government, whether it's sitting or past or future, for if they get such attitude, obviously now a strength of that government, a clear manifestation basically for say now a good approach for any nation for them succeed. So basically further ask say waiting na then approach then they, if any, the then president will take for see that it promotes national cohesion.
Well, you will not say when.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. I'm done. Go ahead. It's quite okay. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
During the time of our governance, President Kuruma then invited other parties. We had NGC members into his cabinet. The current Minister of Lands, Dennis Sandy, was part of his government. Yes. And NGC, what's the NGC? This is PMDC. PMDC was part of the government. We opened up. We had 10 good years of peace and security in the country. The country, Sierra Leone, was rated third most peaceful country in West Africa. We were supplying and providing, peace troops to Somalia. Yes, Eritrea. All of these things we were able to do. Why? Because there was peace at home. How do we manage the peace? We engage the opposition. Many times you go to President Kuma's house, we meet opposition members, they are seated, round table, having drinks, dinner, conversation. We listen to them. And we get engagement in their own struggles. This is how we manage the peace. But today is there peace? Yeri fet na Tumbo, Yeri fet na Godwich, Yeri fet na Makeni, Yeri fet na Bo, Yeri fet na Kailao. Everywhere, every small spark. Why? Because there is tension. Because the people feel victimized. The people don't feel that they are part of a structure that is one whole. And it is not right. The government should reach out. The president should reach out. And the voice coming from the authorities today, not a voice of peace, not a voice of reconciliation, but a voice of vindictiveness, a voice we want to punish. What are they punishing? Is it out of hate? We hope not. Because that is the danger that we're all afraid for. What we're looking for in a country, Let there be unity. Let there be cohesion. We managed the cohesion for 10 years. Sierra Leone was one of the most peaceful countries in the last 10 years. Investments came at its highest. You know, direct foreign investments came in. People are attracted. Holiday makers came in for Christmas. It was good to be in Sierra Leone. It was peace. We loved it. But today, all man look at in company with suspicion. Are you FLPP or are you APC? Are you NGC or what not? Let us stay focused and think first as Sierra Leoneans. And next you can think where you belong.
That takes me to my next question. Current administration of His Excellency President Bio, in terms of upholding Sierra Leone fragile peace process. Your take on that, sir?
Well, as I was saying, we do observe. But I can tell you that there is a state of impasse. The country seems at a situation nobody seems to know what will happen next. Because every day something new they happen, will affect a certain sector of the society, particularly the society when they agree with the current government in trend. You oppose government today, you'll be arrested. If they don't arrest you, they will pay way for oppress you. You say something you shouldn't say before everybody was free. During President Nkrumah, you no prisoner was there for his conscience. We don't see them arrested, they are blinded 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You know, false treason charges been levied against Paulo Conte just because of a possession of a weapon. But I can tell you so many other cases. The former mayor and Darami are charged for murder for no evidence link. It's still there. Even in the case where they were put on bail, the judge was removed. They not tell you what they remove them, but she was removed and changed. But you have to be told. Why? You don't have to be told. She took a decision that was not pleasing. So what are we doing about this? Is this the way to govern? We have these challenges. The security situation is tense. Everywhere you go, you see police and checkpoint, security checkpoint. There is a threat everywhere. What is the threat? What are we afraid of? Our own shadows. If we are doing the right thing, President Nkrumah will drive the glass over the door. In Montego, they fly over for kill people there. Drive cruise, because everybody was happy with the system. Everything was going. We welcome. But today, let me see what in the happy. Let us learn to live well with our people. You live well with your people, you drive in peace. You don't need for Koba Ibotoka. You don't need to hide your registration plate. You don't need to be shamed to be who you are. If you believe in what you're doing as a government, step out, talk to your people, address your people, and be there for them.
Similar question, the next one. We have seen perceived political intimidation and also have the arrest, similarly to what you mentioned, retired Major Paulo Conte, Mr. Albert George Williams, Mr. Darami, and many more. How difficult has it been for yourself as a lawyer and also for your party to have them defended in court, mostly on Trump-up charges?
It's been difficult. With the Go Magistrate Court and former Mayor Albert Williams spent almost a year in detention without bail together with Darami. Paulo is still incarcerated for an offense of possession, where we call a misdemeanor, that is the light offense. The bailable offense, what TTD no get bail. We went even to the Court of Appeal and asked for bail, they no get bail. We're waiting at the punishment. 12 years for one count, another 12 years for another count. 2 years. If there be any other person, they don't let out. But because it's Paulo, and who is Paulo? APC. We have to be very careful with these kind of things. All our petitions that we carried on at the Supreme Court, amongst them challenging the jurisdiction of the commissions of inquiry, has not been listed for hearing. Even the Bar Association came up with a petition. They came up with a summons, a motion before the Supreme Court. That has still not been heard. I mean, what is going on in the courts? I've been Attorney General Minister of Justice. If it were my time, I will not let that happen. I will not let that happen. Because justice delayed is justice denied. Everybody must be given his opportunity to be heard. His case must be heard. And we will be there again. What guarantees do we have? That even when we go there for appeals, they'll be listed. And if they are not listed, what happens to the properties of people? What happens to the life of people? And today we've heard that even accounts have been frozen. Assets are going to be taken. Is that the due process? The appeals are on. Why don't you wait for the outcome of the appeals? The white paper talks of 30 days and 90 days. Why did we not wait for the expiration of the 90 days to take any action? But they are rushing. They want to hurt people. Squeeze them where they feel the pain. It is not about restitution. It's not about recovery. It's punishment. Punishment for what? No wrongdoing. Just hate them because they're APC.
Many believe that selective justice in any nation is not only a bad precedent, but one that has the tendency to bring a nation to its knees, either now or in the near future. A case in point is the Constituency 110 issue, the alleged rape of one Sata, Madam Sata Lamin, by multiple men with no arrest of any. We also saw a video of a young man by the name of Ibrahim Conte, who appears to have been physically tortured and almost lost his life in that incident, and was even sent to jail at some point. All these were perpetrated in the presence of key SLPP operative and many others, including Madam Josephine Jackson. What's your take on that, sir?
Well, I can always say that when these matters are in court, it's difficult to comment on them because we call them sub judice, meaning it's in a court process. But it's difficult in the sense that the response from government has been slow. The response of government has not been one that will give comfort to people out there. When these things happen, the perpetrators must be held and brought to book. It's not an excuse to say, oh, it was been done before. I mean, we need to shy away from that. Past wrong, not to justify a current incorrect. No. If it was wrong, it is wrong. If it was wrong yesterday, it was wrong yesterday. If it is wrong today, it is wrong today. But when can we be correct as a nation? When shall we start saying that this is the right thing we're doing? The government must take responsibility for peace, security, and justice. Where there is no justice, there will never be no peace.
Very strong and deliberate hate speech was aired by one Austin Johnny, a grassroots SLPP leader, and others with a promise to against former President Dr. Ines Baikoroma and supporters of your party. However, till date, no action or actions had been taken against any of them. Why do you think this is happening?
Again, it's all about selective justice, but also the response to the failures in the justice system. What we see here, there's an increasing situation with hate speech. There are many of them coming with the benefit of technology through WhatsApp. We have these voice notes going all over. And the hate speech is not only coming from one particular sector, it is coming from all parties, and it is wrong. We must condemn it within the APC, we must condemn it within the SLPP, we must condemn it vehemently, because those of us that have studied history and that are familiar with the Rwandan crisis, we know what hate speech can do, the genocide. It is regretful that today we're hearing people talking about let us kill them because they are of a different tribe. People saying that let us deal with them because they're APC. People saying that let us take all their properties because they're APC. No, don't take their property because they're APC. Take away their property because they committed a wrongdoing. And let us hear people say that whose properties have not been taken and have no family there. Let us don't say kill them because they belong to something else which is different from what you belong to. Again, hate speech is dangerous. Government must step up. Fortunately enough, I've started hearing bells about it. Government is talking about it. I had the Minister of Information today talking to the tribal heads. I didn't get everything of what he said, but just don't go and talk about white people. Talk about the message of peace. Talk about the message that Sierra Leone is ours. They keep on saying one country, one people. It seems like it is a farce today. It's not. What do they mean by call one country, one people? It's one country for them and one people for them. They are the one people. They have to make us feel that we are one and the same people. And for me, I've started feeling as if I am not one and the same people. Why? Because I see differently. I see people behaving differently. I see people that used to be friends are different today just because they're in governance. No. We didn't sack people from their offices. We didn't drive them away from their offices. We didn't drive them from the country. We didn't endeavor to make them destitute. What we did, everybody continue what you do, we focus on governance. We try to change the narrative of the country. But today the narrative is becoming caustic. The narrative is becoming diatribe. The narrative is becoming one of invectives. It shouldn't be like that. Let us start talking peace. Let us start talking about love. Let us start talking about development. How can we progress as a nation together as well?
I think so. You make a very strong statement in terms of national cohesion and peace. So, for the benefit of that Mamina Tombo or na mile 91, we then go understand. Similarly to one of the things that we do 3 years ago, we even they preach peace. I go want to use this again because we strongly believe in national cohesion and continue for the make a habit of repeating the statement over and over. So I believe say Sierra Leone will benefit if you also put her in with local frankers. Come back in, sir.
Well, I could say in Salon, we want peace. Salon, we believe say it's only with peace that there will be development. It's only where there is peace that you able to endeavor for their justice, for the two go together. So I talk to we people now, wherever you there, let we able to manage the peace. We as all people's Congress, we will endeavor for build. It's a process. It's not an event that you will work on. Sometimes they in it in some other people. Some other people that they feel disposed towards peace. But let we bear with each other. Nobody's perfect. Let we work together for the interest of Mama Sano.
Thank you, sir. We saw the killing in Makeni, Tumbo, Mile 91, Pademba Road, all in the name of curbing lawlessness by this present administration. As the main opposition party, what has your party done to raise concern on these issues?
Yes, Khadija, these are very serious issues. The party has raised concerns. We've written to the authorities. We've issued press statements. We've called on the government to bring those people that committed these atrocious events to book. To date, we have not had anything. We saw what happened at Pademba Road prisons. It's a massacre. Massacre. No coroner's inquest has been held. In any other country where these things happen, a coroner's inquest would have been held. We don't even know the fate. How many prisoners? They said 33. Where are they? What are their names? Nobody knows. It is sad. In Makeni, innocent people were killed. Who killed them? No inquiry has been made. No report has been provided to comfort the persons that lost their loved ones. Even to bury them was a challenge. To get the cops away from the police was a challenge. We represented them, those who were alive and arrested. So in many, many situations like this, government should step up and preach peace. Government should step up and preach accountability. When we talk about accountability, it's not necessarily about funds. We talk about accountability for actions. And so, if you do something you're not good to your company, government will come in and ask you for answer to that. It is not one thing if even you're a state operator, if you go kill your company without a due process of law, you must be made to be accountable. And until the government begin to take them kind of position they are, then the security of the state, the people then could feel at ease. Well, nobody really feel at ease now. After what happened at Tumbo, nobody was held responsible. What happened at Pademba Road, nobody was held responsible. What happened at Makeni, nobody was held responsible. When is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? If we don't address these issues now, it will reach at a point when it will be difficult for stop. Then people will react. You don't want us to get to that state. And how do you prevent it happening? It's managing it. Let there be accountability, not just for accountability of funds within governance, but accountability of actions, for one action to another, particularly state operators.
Thank you, sir. Shortly before we come on, I noticed, I don't know how accurate that document was. I assume it is. There was a statement from the former president, Dr. Anis Baikroma. I don't know if you didn't get the opportunity for read through that document before we meet today. Did you? Did you?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Okay. So can you enlighten we on that one? Like within not your take on the entirety based on in response, sir.
As I said earlier on at the opening, that President Kuma is a very law-abiding person. He has kept quiet for a while. absorb so many things, derogatory things, scandalous things that have been said about him. He tried to present himself as a statesman that he actually is. He live above the fray. When he reaches stage, he has to say something. Because his reputation has now been dragged down to court to a judgment level that he has to appeal. He has a right to be heard, and he's speaking up. He's disappointed. He's touched by it. He feels the pain that people are going through on account of him. He feels the pain that what all he's worked for is going down the drain. Not just because of him, but because people think otherwise. He's saddened by it, deeply saddened, and he's ready to fight for his name. He's ready to fight for his tenure. He's ready to fight for the reputation that he's built all this while, all those years of work. And he feels touched that even former members of his executive are being harangued, and tarnished reputations on account of working for his government. He has reached a level where he has raised his voice. For once, he said, no, it should stop. I will let people know and hear my voice. He's ready to comply with the law. He's ready to defend his name, and that is his choice. We will be by his side, yes, to see what can be done about it. We believe it is not a point of fighting corruption. No, this is not corruption anymore. It's politics. It's politics. Politics of destruction. Politics of vindictiveness. If you can say, Khadija, that after all the years this man has worked, over 40 years of professional service, competent professional service, he shouldn't own one house. Who else would build a house? Nobody. 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 Even properties that he said they don't belong to him, they took them away from those who had the houses. They had conveyances. We produce conveyances. This house does not belong to him. It does not belong to him. It belongs to this XYZ. They still took the house. They said, no, we know it belongs to him. That's what we call pauper nangeta. So, in instances where they talk about vindictiveness, even lawyer when they go contract for get case by Macaulay, he do work successfully. When they don't do the work now, they say, copy the money back. For waiting. For waiting. You look at commercial bank, local commercial bank, the loan, they are paying the loan to today. The bank is surviving. They say the money must be paid. BDO, an auditing firm. BDO was a fiduciary agent for the Ebola. We created BDO so that person will use the money, that they manage the money, just distribute it. Money will go to their account. What did they say? They will pay $52,000. Why? And the money the World Bank money, the money was paid into the account. What in BDO stated that 38,000 of that money left that account without their instructions as recent as August. This August, who's that money go? Then they ask about that. One tarnish the reputation of BDO, they stop at nothing. Even the company, they stop at nothing. Ebo on a low left. Salona we only own. Salona we only own. Don't stop. Waiting BDO people do this. Why destroy BDO? Because Salion and Naina the managing partner. The managing partner because not to SLPP. Neither is the APC. We don't Sabian APC. So why target him? Why target BDO? Well, you know why I can tell you. Because BDO did a good job on the Ebola. They're not glad. But anti-corruption, find out. They conducted investigations over the Ebola funds. Let's go what's in that. The BDO perform well. But that commission of inquiry, they will call this Nigerian man judge who they call Biobele. I name Fiban as he say, yes, me, Ebo, anti-corruption specialists, and we look, they don't see that. You see, they will pay all the money back.
Oh, God.
Those of the German say, oh, Jare, this man can't continue to watch us. They don't go sack people seriously. God not will give them chance. The peace will receive from us and God will give.
So who are we to blame? Do we blame Wisef for not being able to govern Weon or try for clean Weon data leaning within Sierra Leone versus go get somebody else for can question where it be safe or gets problem for able for sit down, get a healthy dialogue and try for fill in the puzzle or the gap. What's in your take on that? Who is there to blame? You go blame Joe Belair or this? Did they look funny?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh boy! Oh God! At least something they will get for laugh. So
All of this is make me say laugh. The thing with all of this is that this that we probably we salon people that we let stranger. We don't believe ourselves.
yeah.
So money go come out now for in country can count 1 cent with the and contract it to multi-millionaire. We ask them. All the other man we don't make money size salary. You didn't the commission of inquiry. We not to salon man. You didn't there. No, you don't go in there. We use salon man as you want better so we don't hate you for that. All we want to destroy you. That crab theory, they call it crab theory. We put crab they all inside one bowl pan. They put water. Anyone want to go up in company and nobody know for go. It is so wrong. We therefore allow people to grow. Which we for do? We for emulate them, for use them as role models. We don't for feel sure that person for better pass you. What to somebody make we on? People in the for better pass you. But what you can say, we can say your new government. You say because that man did the right time motor, you say what right time motor. Oh, now you don't for ride again. Hey, boy, now so shouldn't work that way. What we should try to see is let with self. Coming back to a point of cohesion, I cannot leave that. It is so paramount and important that we therefore let with self. We for believe in ourselves. Say yes, even today, we'll get President Bill. If say take certain decisions, let's believe in him. Say yes, the president, what did he do now for the better of the country? But if what he take in decision we take, he come for represent, say, now other parts of the country, no more the gladly. People will ask questions. Why you don't do something we work for gladly? We don't wait for that kind of thing, the way we all go gladly. When we then are making, we President Bill take that decision, we want to say, this by take up for the country. But most of the decisions are other part than the glad. No, let them try to take decisions for the whole country go glad. Let us try to come together. Nobody then they preach against corruption. Nobody then preach in favor of corruption. We all fight corruption, wherever in its form. Some of us have dedicated our lives to it. But I can tell you, this one we miss a big opportunity for them to against issues of corruption because we bring politics guy inside. We bring that guy inside. And anytime we get bad that, you're not able to do well. You're not able to do well because your mind is clouded. This commission was set up with a clouded mind. Yes, it's set up with a clouded mind. So they're not going to get time to do proper investigations. So what are you expecting? A botched outcome. Because from the beginning he faulted. Tell the outcome. Which you don't fail from, you don't go pass again. You don't go fail a class where you don't go pass a level.
Critical statement you make, and one of which I will go on also ask with follow-up question, wherein we see that some people that will be don't even deceased, they don't die, and still put them at the band. And then secondly, we see that we ACC boss go to the local television station today, say hold themselves accountable, say obviously they're not perfect, and even the Ebola investigation not done yet. So obviously indirectly accept say there was a lot of course inconsistency where happen where not necessarily accurate. I want to expand on that a little bit. And then secondly, we be also see a video where I forgot who it was, where be actually the specific individual then will be make them money that they available to we during the Ebola time, where then come back again and give say the Ebola money being spent exactly how it was given to Sierra Leone. But on the other hand, we still get word here and there say there's still not account. There's some portion where there's still the then government not give accounts to. So I want to give clarity on that. The second one is that the then president inside in handover notes gives specific figure where he left na the coffer as they hand over. So many Sierra Leoneans go look and say there's no way where that man they go put something when I lie for international world for sea. But then on the other hand, we sit in government say they don't meet anything at the coffer. So I want you to take this opportunity for clear the hair, sir, and at least enlighten with Usa we don't know?
Well, let me speak to issues that we know about. I'll start with the one about the investigations. In anything we do about waterman, there has to be a final thing, especially in terms of justice. If you start to invite somebody for Ghana Anti-Corruption Commission, you see the investigator for Ebola funds. You spend months and months, you complete, you prepare a report, you say satisfied.
Excuse me.
You don't. You present all the documents. Then the government come back, you say, no, we don't it. They set up commission of inquiry. They say, go look back into this Ebola thing. They look back into the Ebola thing. And guess what? I was present when the judiciary agent video, they carried boxes, account onto 15 boxes of documents. That judge at table, I called just now, I'm calling him again.
Yeah.
He just peep. He said, no, I don't have time to look at those boxes. You know, in that Oga language.
Yeah.
I don't have time to look at all those boxes. No. The evidence was there before him. So, are you surprised that you went wrong with his conclusion? Pay the money, no see. I go see. The evidence was there inside the boxes. They don't have time to do a thorough job. It was hurriedly packaged, no proper investigations. So for me, if I come back and talk and say, hey, well, we may make mistakes, this and that, who said this will stop now? So they go back to the Anti-Corruption Commission. Then they go re-investigate and re-investigate. So until they get what they want, before it will stop, because so far they don't even get nothing. So they will investigate until the evidence is fixed, until the outcome is determined the way they want. We have to stop. This one, not forever. We have to stop. If you don't go after post, you want to go 2 10, 3 10. They come back and say, I think I will make mistakes already. Well, waiting at the mistake, you don't see you mistake it too. Only people get the particular desired outcome. I hope not. Because for the current commissioner, they have not commented on his stewardship. I get respect for him, and I hope it remains like that. I didn't want you to do, because I built that institution up. So I have an interest in it. So if they come back for reinvestigate, let there be a difference. And then we hope the outcome will be acceptable to everybody, as long as it is fair. That's the demand. It's the least demand we make.
Yeah.
When you spoke about the issue of monies left in coffers.
Yes, sir. Before you go there again, I just want to get clarity on this Ebola, because another time the ACC boss been come back again and say nobody, Salon people, they use the money the right way, and nobody not been found guilty. So I don't know if you want expand on that again, or you don't make it clear, because we are left being confused.
At the point, they investigate. A guy prepare a report, a presenter. Nobody asked, nobody knows. Say it was a fair, we all accept. If after that, this commission just go meet in that hurried fashion, the 15 boxes were paraded before him, he not look, he just peep. He said, I don't have time to look at those papers. He drew your own conclusion. This is the time that you should stand up and say, no, what I've looked at, I stand by my word. But if there is new evidence, I believe, he said, there is new evidence, let it come forward. But let that new evidence don't be a doctored evidence. Let that new evidence don't be something that has been prepared. The documents are there. Video don't show the documents. Even the money where they say they pay into the World Bank account until August, as recent as August, they put 30,000 of that money there. Also, I will go for explain later. We hope they will find time for explain that. So, at the end of the day, what would they tell the people here? We get our people confused. Who do we believe now? We will believe ACC? We will believe the Commission of Inquiry? Who do we believe? They say they work together. Well, if we work together, we never get our word. We know they work together and get to word. So we are left confused and dazed. Now they can't go to court. What would go in a court? Who do they bring up paper? We go by the reports or go by what ACC say? And that's another thing I want to talk about. After the report, the white paper don't give their own statement. The report don't reach a level of a judgment. While the persons of interest they appeal, how will I go investigate the same issue where they don't pass judgment back? I don't understand that. The same issue, and what you get in law, when there is judgment, you have the days. In crime, it's 21 days appeal. In civil, it's 90 days. You get to wait for the lapse of that period before you can see that case they don't know the post in appeal. Within that period, when the person addressed that issue, he has a right to address the issues of his appeal. You know, you can go begin investigate about what that same issue there. So we are confused. We will wait for see, waiting at the fresh issues, waiting at this new evidence. Because up and down, hold on, go deep on this. We lost sight of the focus of development. We lose sight of the focus of development. That the country they suffer, that the people they suffer. We continue to waste resources. This money for not put no better himself. We did for paying close to welfare people. The close we don't do. We just the add party close, just the add party close. See this close, it was square. And we don't say that we're that closely. The next one, not we're that closely. Let them this one no more.
Thank you, sir. So now we expand a little bit on the how you call confusion in terms of waiting the then president write on the handover note in terms of waiting left na the coffer versus waiting we sitting government they say to the people of Sierra Leone. If you can give a better clarity on that, sir.
In any handed over note, particularly the handed over note of a head of state, anything we are sat there, believe you me, you can't run the risk of put false statements there. Because when they come, like that first thing you look for, whose money we left. Any government coming is a resource base. What is there that we can start up with? If when they come, they don't meet that the first talk that they go talk, so don't meet this money when I say when I left for cancer for them. But they don't be one day for answer for the money. One day, first then they talk. So what political points do you gain? Then we let them petty politics here, and then we lose sight of what we want to do for the country. The moment President Kumar state say he left na the coffers were there. There's a bank statement to reflect that. Simple. Let them show me the Bank of Salon statement say that money they don't make it. Not of a talk, show me. You know, we as lawyers always believe in evidence. Not of a just talk. We talk something, prove them. But if you don't get some for prove them, we beg you. Just like what they tell on our president to buy yesterday. I know I'm talking what they tell they do. So who say what they talk about? So yeah, that's what they tell yesterday. Who say they talk about when I say when I left? But me don't go and talk, I know. I'm afraid.
Oh man, interesting. So are they open the line for at least 5 questions? We cannot say I don't only for long, and I appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for your time. If we get 5 questions, the lucky first 5 will call if you get any question for Honorable, and then we'll go from there. We'll take a quick break now. We'll make the numbers available to the audience, and then when they come back. Thank you again, sir, for your patience and your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome back. We don't get 2 calls so far. Salon for All, Voice for All, Network Television. Kindly identify yourself. Who side you call from, please?
It's Fox of East Salon, London.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Go ahead and your question for Honorable, please. Go ahead.
Honorable, well done. I don't meet you. I don't say on a day. On a day, Dave. You people accept opposition. People accept criticism. That's what country for the like. But the white paper are just distraction. But I'm not the talk about white paper, black paper, and blue paper. Because when you want to do something right, you get a court of law, you get anti-corruption commission. The guy say you make it simple. How would you have an anti-corruption commission on a form commission of inquiry? Does that make sense? Then at the end of the day, when they cancel the president for anti-corruption commission for go investigate what he did. When a commission of inquiry don't make a recommendation, when you get they make the recommendation, they will not a lawyer, but I will tell you, say we don't make the recommendation. He writes to the person back, talking about the recommendation they should make. You able to defend yourself and able to defend your court of law because the highest court of the law on the land. The government don't fail, that's the fact. Now fail, they don't fail. It's not just addendum. People in the council boy, so now people for the world salon. They've got responsibility. SLDP got responsibility. So what are you doing if you're not doing your responsibility? People in the question SLDP and the most educated people mess up the country the power to attend to the job. You guys did well. I'm not saying a perfect puppet too. But do well. There's transparency. There's freedom of speech. We get freedom of movement.
Thank you so much,
sir. So move to that country that I want. And well done, Mr. Jigar. Another question for you, sir. Well done, sir.
Okay.
This time I will say protest. Say, when I made it go to the court of law. We're ready for going to the court of law. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you. Salon for All, Voice for All, Network Television. Kindly identify yourself. Who's you call from and what's in your name, please?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Any question for Honorable?
Mina Usman Kontari, call from London.
Kindly hold. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead. Just.
I just want to say thanks to you for at least for bringing one of the most brilliant lawyers in the country for can talk on this issue they go on in the country. And the question is very simple. I don't understand. Say they don't invite the former president at ECC. So I just want to let let JFK tell you what I take about the invitation of former president to ACC as one of his defense lawyer.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. So you can hold on. It go respond to you shortly, sir. You are hold on?
Okay.
You are hold on, sir?
I don't know here.
Okay. All right. Honorable.
Okay,
you go and go up and listen?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go play listen here.
All right, sir. Thank you. Honorable, you read the question, sir, right?
Yes,
Salon for All, kindly hold, please. You want to answer that or not? Bring the next question, Honorable.
Anyone.
Which one?
Well,
They answer that one before saying? Okay.
and thanks to Usman and the previous caller. My take on this invitation to the SEC by for former president. Firstly, I believe say dangerous.
Salon for All, kindly hold, please.
To invite the former president to the Anti-Corruption Commission on the same issues that have been determined by the Commission of Inquiry. It's unfair. It's like a double jeopardy. You want to put them back through another whole process of investigation again, and it's frustrating. And the other thing is, while I've been at the Anti-Corruption Commission, as it said, will they investigate anybody at the level of vice president or above? You need to take the risk for Bianca into your office. You send your team for go obtain the statement from her. Because anything can happen. When you say your team, whatever you say, you get for accord and the respect of the position where you own. President Koma is former head of state. You don't want to drag him to come to the SEC and can put him on the bench, you say, man, they sit down, condemn him and put him on bail when I just statement that you want. What is wrong if you ask and say, oh, they come? One can take statement. The statement where they make in your house, now the same statement they can make in your office. So why subject him to the ridicule? Why you are embarrassed? So we believe, say, as a lawyer, I don't engage the commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission, advise say if for better. Let you send your team, let them go investigate, let them take a statement. They continue your work. But we go to court or even check whether waiting that we want to do so is correct. But until we know what we investigate, if not new team, we will listen waiting at the new team. If not the old team, then when shall it stop?
Thank you, sir. Next caller, Salon for All, Voice for All, Network Television. Kindly identify yourself, please. Who's the call from?
Yeah, hi. Thank you very much. This is Adam J. The call from the UK.
Welcome, Mr. Adam, United Kingdom. Welcome, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. This now a concern where I just want to throw to the former Attorney General, GFK, now at the studio there. Mr. Attorney General, thank you very much for at least educating so many of we follow the discussion. I did follow up with the UK colleague we called just now regarding the invitation where the ACC don't make to the former president. And some of we, of course, we're not lawyers, but we're widely read that they try for challenge and say we not see any reason that as per the constitution that you do not inquire into the activities of the president where in view where taking decision and if he say they were right for the country. But it appears as if Naden thinks and they try for on earth for make sure they rewrite the constitution to their own convenience. The argument will then they forward now that the issue that they invite the president for, these are issues where the commissions of inquiry be referred to the Anti-Corruption Commission, where they're not able to conclude on. Where Mrs. The whole thing is a charade. It's a form of extending the level of disrespect where they don't give to the former president all along, right from the time where he had over power. We see all of that. And for some of we still give that respect and believe in the former president and appreciate him for what he did do. We think say enough is enough. We all want peace. We mean well for Sierra Leone. Some of we do investment and everything. Enough is enough. We cannot continue under these circumstances. Things say this thing for continue. And I think say on our way we don't work. And every other person we appreciate on our way to rally around them for continue for getting courage. But enough of this whole thing. There has to be a stop at some point.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adams. You get any additional question or statement?
No, that's just about it.
Okay, you want to hold on or you go back and listen? Okay,
that's fine.
All right, go ahead, Honorable. You hear what he says, sir, right?
Yes, of course. I thank Mr. Adams for a comment. What would you say, Mr. Adams, is if we don't challenge, we'll get for taken at the Court of Appeal. Firstly, we get in law what we can call sovereign immunity. Sovereign immunity now also you don't be head of state. You get what you call that functional aspect of immunity, meaning for action where you take within the law during the time within the office. You get a personal one, meaning you in person, we off, we commodity, you open to liability, but not for the functions where you can perform inside your office. If for any reason they're illegal, then you have to go to Parliament to lift that immunity. That has not been done. And one of the issues that they will take right to the Supreme Court. Well, they don't test them. But it's an interesting one. I'm not saying this why interesting. If the court can decide today, say, wait, you do me wrong, that means say, all waiting around they do so now, it go wrong tomorrow. It go wrong. It go wrong. Because whether they decide waiting right or wrong, that's the court. Not to the law, they don't draw the parameters. And it's so unfair, to be honest. When we don't drag President Kuma through the Commission of Inquiry, 1 year and a half, then they say they don't get him. They waste their time, they do things they don't supposed to do. Waste their time because they don't even understand. They don't even get the parameters. The evidence was not there. They waste their time, they go and cook things up. 1 year, 6 months, they still don't get him. Now they go to anti-corruption. And now that they go there, the option was there at the beginning. Why not go to anti-corruption, let them do the work? I don't trust them. At the end of the day, now I want to go to the level, let them go do waiting. So it's not a finishing of a job they're going to do. They want now the anti-corruption for good Bendian, or let them get an outcome pleasing to them. It is wrong. They encourage the commission of the anti-corruption. This is the time that you should step up and be the man you ought to be. Independent, fearless, because that is what we did when we were there, and do what is right.
Thank you, sir. Any additional questions, sir? Mr. Adams?
Well, it's not much of an additional question, but now foresee how, of course, it don't make mention that the team, the legal team, of course, they now then set the time for filing their appeal to the Court of Appeal for MEP, then go see how best then go able to get a fair trial or fair hearing, where, of course, we know say some of the concerns that would then be raised during the process of the commissions of inquiry, they were completely ignored. And now, if they don't ask for court records during the commissions of inquiry that they are not available, So what is the guarantee that justice will be served at the Court of Appeal?
You hear that, sir? All right, Mr.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
the issue that what guarantees are there. But we have no choice for now, because we as law-abiding citizens, we go by waiting the law say. So we file we appeals and just hope say that the right thing will be done, that the court at this time will vindicate themselves and do what is right and what is correct under the law.
Thank you, sir.
And Khadija, we get caught you there.
Yes,
and
yes, yes. And they take this
long before opportunity for Leposinoka and the
absolutely. All right, Mr. Adams, thank you for calling. Thank you, sir.
That's fine.
Okay. Will they take 2 more calls? This one, yeah, so, and then 1 more, and then we're good to go. Not all honorable longer. Somebody when they call in, forgive me if we're missing a call, the line and they go off. And they call the person. Okay. Salon for all, kindly identify yourself, please. What's in my name? What's the call for? Go ahead.
Owen Kasu from London.
Okay, wonderful. Welcome, sir, Mr. Owen Kasu. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Well, to be honest, the question what one for ask Mr. Adams to ask him already.
Okay.
Another question what they think of, not related to this white paper wouldn't release. That was the former decision we former Attorney General been take not for go na the African courts for go answer to some human right case we've been put against government while even they as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. But since that's not related to this particular discussion we get, so I don't know if he at some point before the end of the show if he were able to answer that question before we why not being attend or advice for the government's response.
Noted. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right, thank you. 1 more call come in and then that's it for the day. Salon for All, Voice for All Network Television. Kindly identify yourself. Who's the call from, please?
This is Sue. I call from Canada.
Yes, wonderful. Welcome, madam. Go ahead. What's my question for Honorable?
I just wonder if APC can point blank say they not ever cheap salon money and then guilt free. And also, if somebody from the SLPP wing go able for say, since then they in power, they not ever embezzle salon money, because this thing need for be squashed between these two parties. The people them they suffer. Salon need for go before, not to let it be dragged back with these two parties fighting from Genesis to Revelation. We don't want to reach Revelation and continue for suffer. May heart they break for the poor Sierra Leonean, you know. The poor people them need development. They need something for let them look to for the future. But then two grown men they are just there for bring the country down. So if APC can say point blank they not thief salon money, that would be good. And then if they do thief the money, do you let them pay them back, because we all get a dick from this. And SLPP, if you not they thief, you not be careful with not stealing, because the tape will turn back around. That's all I gotta say. Love you all.
We love you right back. Thank you, madam. So that will be the end of the call. For now, I respect the honorable in time. I know say this one will be more of a statement, equally that of the previous one. But I don't know if there was any other question we may miss out. Wait until you go like for touch on before you go, sir. And then I get one more question for you. Or advice.
To talk about the ECOWAS court.
Oh yes,
yes. Legal opinion. Yes. In the office of the Attorney General, one of your primary functions, we provide legal advice to the government, and that includes defending the Constitution. And what the Constitution say that the Supreme Court of the land are the highest court of the land, and when they reach a decision, it is my legal opinion, and I keep on saying I stand by it. It is not subject to review by a commerce court. The ECOWAS court is a commerce court. And I still insist that the commercial jurisdiction will reach the level for interfere into the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone. If we be allow ourselves for good down that road there. Nobody know for taking a case again go to Supreme Court. Everybody will have been going to ECOWAS. The Supreme Court would have become redundant. We would have undermined the tenets of the 1991 Constitution. So it was not proper. When they say ECOWAS, they know the jurisdiction, but they get matters where they can attend to. But who say the Supreme Court don't determine the matter, we don't settle down. You know, we call a res judicata, that it has been settled as a matter of law. Then if you look into other areas, after the Supreme Court don't settle that case, it was settled. That is why we said we will not subject ourselves. Then we speak up from Canada. Ask an interesting question. Can they ever say guilt-free? Nobody can ever say guilt-free. The palm is never without dust. What can we say? Moving forward, let us build our institutions. If anybody gets opportunity for take government money or public money, now we didn't get the opportunity. Let us build institutions. If the institutions are strong, we don't give you the chance for let Putan or say enough for Putan, then Sierra will be a better place. But what we don't see in all the years, the 50-something years of our democracy and independence, what are we seeing? One government after another, the same issues, the same problem. Not whether an IPC or SLPP. Now the same Salomon, the different clothes you wear. Tomorrow, like na NDC Canada, the same thing will be. How would they prevent it? By building those institutions, tightening the loopholes, closing those wastages, and make sure say it's difficult unless somebody go deep and sign up for deeper. And that's what we say. I personally believe in institutional building to help fight, to address the issues of corruption.
Thank you so very much, sir. I want to take this opportunity for give your last word. I also want to give advice on tribalism, regionalism, national cohesion, and specifically to the youth of Sierra Leone or Sierra Leonean as a whole. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you. Let me start by thanking you for giving me the opportunity that the first time I did this interview with you. I wish you well. And tell the people who don't leave you, to tell us thank you for the opportunity for listening to me. I may not have addressed everything, particularly the way some of you would like, but I think I tried to be as honest and objective as possible. For the country, we love our country. We want the best for Salon. So do ya, when I love we all hold together. Salon and Warrior. Then we push for the betterment of the country. Again, those in governance today, it is not about you being in power today, because tomorrow you never know who say good day. You may not even be there. What do you want and how do you want to be treated? Let us all realize that once we have the powers of the state, now for we committed ourselves, not commit ourselves for doing everything right, and we do everything good for the country. In terms of cohesion, we believe that no matter how you come out, no matter your religion, no matter your tribe, Salon and Warrior, we put all the tribal limits aside, because tribalism is nurtured. Nobody they not born so. They make you grow up for believe say you tribe not the best. You're not good. You're not good for Salon. You're not good for anywhere in the world. So let us start by looking at each other that we are Sierra-Leoneans first, and that we want everything good for the country. Whether it be APC or SLPP, if you do bad, you do bad. You do good, you do good. But let we work together for ensure say that bad we do, we punish you for the bad, but not punish you for who say belong. Today, we don't see the white paper. We don't hear it in the Commission of Inquiry report. What did we do as APC? President Kuma look at the transition report. Few items is on a check. The others are moving forward with development. Another say we do the same thing, or SLPP should do the same thing. But at which stage we therefore choose. Which one or development? Vendetta or development? I will advise, let us go for development. To the youth, we apologize. Because as a country, the leadership, all the big people not left something for making us feel say it's worthy of emulation. But I go tell you one thing. That henceforth, not to all man go able to say this, I want to be like that Monday. But now look at me. Now look at my integrity levels 1 FBN. If there's nothing to show, let there be one man or any other possibility you can stand by and say, there goes a good man. We will not let other people put you down. I will remain strong. And I thank you. I wish the country well. God bless Sierra Leone.
Thank you so very much. It has been another humbling experience, sir. Thank you for your service, your sacrifice to our beloved Mama Salon. Thank you for, I'm like lost for words right now, but thank you for your time. Thank you for everything that you have done today, just making the ultimate sacrifice to see that we complete this wonderful session, to answer questions or doubt, filling the gap of Sierra Leone's mind. Thank you so much once again. God bless you, sir.
God bless you.
Yeah. Folks, we'll take a quick break and I'll come right back. Fellow Sierra Leoneans and viewers beyond the Sierra Leone community, and I welcome once again, and they take this opportunity and say thank you so much once again to Honorable for the time we take for honor we invitation here and for answer the questions of Sierra Leoneans. Thank you so much. For any calls they will not get through, obviously the questions they will be presented or maybe take up with time. We apologize sincerely and hope that with next session with Honorable, you go able to get through, or some of the questions that you might have had that I may have not necessarily asked. Once again, and I thank you for always being part of this noble platform. And I always remember what in bind we together, which in the green, white, and blue. We wish everybody well on this white paper and see that we country move to the level where we all they expect and for move where national cohesion go be the what we all want, and oneness, and we go able for look at the interest of Sierra Leone, not any political party per se. Once again, I thank you for joining me today. May God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. May God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. May God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. May God bless the United States of America, United Kingdom, Australia, everywhere where Sierra Leoneans find themselves. Until next time, I am Khadija Tijan Nabi. This is Salon for All, Voice for All, Network Television. Bye.